This broadcast of Pennsylvania Newsmakers is presented by the State System of Higher Education. 14 state-owned universities. The state system is the largest provider of higher education in Pennsylvania. And by the Hospital and Health System Association of Pennsylvania, working towards a healthy Pennsylvania.
Hi, welcome back to Pennsylvania Newsmakers. Joining me is Steve Stetler, who's the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Economy League, the Capital Region, and who also was a former member of the state legislature for many years, representing York, Pennsylvania, and some of the suburban areas around York. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it was the city of York and Spring Garden Township and North York Borough. West
well,
York.
What happened a couple of weeks ago in the legislature? Are you upset that you weren't there? Do you miss that just a little bit, all the fun and the excitement of that?
Well, I mean, there's a phenomenal amount of excitement up there, and watching it these last couple of days, I mean, it's a lot of chaos, and I don't miss it. I mean, I really, you know, it's funny. Polly and I were talking last night about it, and I said, I'm very happy. I made a great decision.
Well, your wife probably had more to say about that than you did, right?
Well, she's always the one who kind of looks doesn't second guess, but she certainly does challenge me in my thinking process.
All right, Steve has been heavily involved in policy formation over the years in his days in the legislature. One of the guys who thought an awful lot about policy, also a little bit about politics, which everybody has to do. Okay, we're going into Governor Rendell's second term. Tell me what you think some of the big problems are that the state needs to look at. Reel a couple of them off and we'll chat about them.
Well, I mean, I think Governor Rendell's going to focus on a couple of huge problems. One, I mean, certainly transportation, whether it's mass transit or highway construction. Healthcare is another issue. I think that local government concerns.
Modernization, you mean?
Well, and shared services, things of that nature. I think it's a looming issue. I mean, when you look at the health of local municipalities, Act 47 needs to be addressed. So, I mean, I think the governor's got a full platter.
I mean, one of the things we've been talking about on the program, the sale of the Pennsylvania Turnpike, is that something, or leasing it, whatever it is, do you think that's something that the legislature should seriously address?
We did a study just prior to the governor's commission coming out.
This is the PA Economy League.
The Economy League did a study, and leasing the Turnpike was one part of several recommendations that study put forth. You know, the issue of regionalizing Pennsylvania in terms of looking at issues. I mean, the Southeast is a much different region than South Central, where we are. I mean, they're far more focused on the need for mass transit than we are. South Central needs mass transit.
But we have roads and bridges
that need to be addressed.
I mean, there's problems. They're just, as you're saying, just a little bit different in nature.
And so, coming up with a solution to all the problems, we can't focus just on the Turnpike. That is not a panacea. There are obvious other problems that need to be addressed holistically. Turnpike is something we think, we recommend it should be on the table for discussion, but not by itself. There are other solutions that need to be addressed.
All right, I'm chatting with Steve Stetler. We're going to take a little break. We're dealing with Governor Rendell's very, very, you would agree with this, ambitious agenda. One of the more ambitious agendas for a governor's second term, yes or no?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to continue with this discussion after these words.
This broadcast of Pennsylvania Newsmakers is presented by the Pennsylvania Credit Union Association. Pennsylvania Credit Unions, where people are worth more than money. And by the Energy Association of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania's energy information source.